Road trip concludes tonight from New York, New York. In the Bronx, Houston Astros and the New York Yankees wrap up this three-game set. The Yankees winning last night, coming from behind with 2 in the 9th and 1 in the 10th in walk-off fashion. The Astros have already lost the season series to the Yankees, but a chance at a winning road trip today with a victory from Yankee Stadium. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another night of Astros baseball. I'm Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. And Blummer, overall, it's been 3 out of 4 losses for the Astros and 2 in really frustrating fashion with a lead heading into the 9th. But this is an Astros team that has been resilient earlier this year.
They have been, and that's what good teams go out there and do. And the Astros actually have a luxury of having a very good rotation to go out there and play good baseball, at least get good starts, because you said that they did have those leads. They were blown by the bullpen, but we know when they lose, we can easily pick out the reasons why. Last night, one of the reasons was 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position and the faltering of that bullpen. When you put those two things together, it doesn't usually end well for the Astros. But the nice thing is on a nightly basis, they're going to go out there and get very good pitching to start out these ball games. And again, for me, being on the offensive side and knowing how talented these guys are, they need to take responsibility, keep getting those guys on base, but they need to come up with that big hit and help out some of these starters.
And usually when you need a big start versus the New York Yankees, Dallas Keuchel has been a guy in the past who's been able to get the job done.
He really has. He's been a lot of fun to watch, and he's not intimidated by the stage. He's not intimidated by the ballpark. He's going to continue to go out there and put up great numbers pitching against these New York Yankees. Some of the numbers on him are going to be fantastic. Lowest in the American League versus any opponent with that 1.74. And again, a lot of it rides on that cut fastball. Dallas Keuchel, even though he's not going to blow up the radar gun with 95+ mile an hour, he's going to do a great job setting up the outside corner with that sinker and changeup, and then come in with that cut fastball on some of these right-handed hitters. And here in recent years, we have seen the Yankees be unable to keep that ball in play for any kind of damage.
So Keuchel on the mound tonight against a tough customer in Luis Severino. It is a nice night on this Wednesday evening as the Astros wrap up this 3-game series. They'll be heading home for the Boston Red Sox tomorrow as Dallas takes on New York in just a little while. Net is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. Astros and Yankees, final regular season matchup of 2018. We see these two teams matched up again for at least another 4 months or so as we get ready for baseball on this Wednesday night. Time to check in with Julia Morales.
Thanks a lot, TK. Looking for a series win today as this one is tied, but this is the end of the season series. Looking back on that first one earlier this month, the Yankees taking 3 of 4. Tonight started for the Yankees. Luis Severino pitched a gem within that series, his first ever complete game shutout, shutting down a really good Astros offense back then. That was the best they've ever seen Severino, though. We've seen a couple of guys have some success against Severino in the past couple of years. Toyota Get Out and Play is going to show us who those guys are, and one of them had the day off yesterday. Carlos Correa back in there today. That should be good for the Astros as he's a career .455 hitter against Severino with a 1400 OPS, and be good to see this bat get going again. 5 for 11, 2 doubles and a home run, and drawing some walks as well. So let's get him going tonight. Also, Yuli Gurriel, pretty good against Severino too, or at least he's seeing him pretty well. 5 for 11 also with extra bases. He has a double there, drawing a couple of walks against him. So very good at bats between these two Astros. And Severino has made 3 regular season starts, another appearance against Houston in his career. We've seen him twice in the playoffs, but 4 times there in 2017 versus the 1 time I mentioned the complete game shutout. Much different story as they seem to have been knocking him out of some of these starts. Only 16 1/3 in those 4 different starts. So getting him out of the game, drawing a lot of walks against Severino. It was the opposite of that earlier this season, Blummer. He was pretty impressive on May 2nd, throwing that CG. Very uncharacteristic for this Astros club tonight. And they have been playing better offense right now, so that should help him. But still, a very good arm on the mound for New York tonight.
No, you're right, Julie. Absolutely is. It might be part of the reason why he came sprinting out of the Yankees dugout to take the mound tonight, because of that game he pitched last time in Minute Maid Park. Complete game, gave up 5 hits, 10 strikeouts. He did an incredible job. He threw 60 fastballs and got 10 swings and misses, and also added 15 called. So he did a great job of mixing the pitches. The numbers on the season are great. 20 walks in 71 innings, and that's the interesting thing. Of all the 11 starts this season, only 1 game has he not walked a hitter. So if the Astros can lay off some of the pitches on the edges, create some base runners, create some traffic, hopefully get a mistake, that's where Severino gets in trouble.
The lineup he will face tonight for the Astros. Starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. No George Springer in there tonight. That means Tony Kemp gets a start at the top of the order in right field, followed by Alex Bregman, the third baseman. Jose Altuve at second, leading all of baseball with 76 hits. Carlos Correa coming off the day off yesterday, bats fourth. Yuli Gurriel at first base. Marwin Gonzalez will play left field. Evan Gattis has been on a power surge lately. The DH bats seventh. Max Stassi behind the plate hitting eighth, and Jake Marisnick is in center field, and he will bat ninth. Behind Severino defensively tonight for the Yankees, presented by Xfinity, Giancarlo Stanton gets a start in left field, and he'll be flanked by Aaron Hicks in center. The right fielder is Aaron Judge. Some big boys flanking Hicks in the outfield. Didi Gregorius and Miguel Andujar on the left side. Gleyber Torres had a rough night last night defensively with a couple of errors. Tyler Austin, the first baseman, and Austin Romine catches Severino tonight. Tony Kemp swings to the first pitch and sends it towards Stanton in left field, and Giancarlo puts it away for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Tony Kemp barely gave me a chance to say that some tough strike zones to face 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Altuve, Bregman, Kemp. Kemp draws a lot of walks. This guy leads the team in walks. Alex Bregman has been a walk machine all year long. He has walked in 6 of his last 7 games and has 35 on the season. Only the potential MVPs, Mike Trout and Aaron Judge, have drawn more walks in the American League than Alex Bregman. Bregman has gone all the way up to the top 10 now, as he's 10th in the American League in on-base percentage at .384.
2-0 pitch is outside, and Bregman, as usual, not chasing, not leaving the zone, and forcing a pitcher to come in there with a strike.
Might be part of the reason Tony Kemp is so aggressive too, knowing that the guy behind him has a tendency to grind out some ABs.
Severino in that last start against the Astros, his one and only complete game and his only shutout. Since then, he's gone 6 innings in each of his last 4 starts. Bregman fouls one away. It's 3-2. Astros faced Severino a couple of times last year in the postseason. Didn't pitch poorly. He pitched game 2 and game 6. Ended up with a 4.15 ERA. The problem for Severino was he was matched up with Justin Verlander in both of those games. So matching up with the ALCS MVP doesn't bode well for you. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball, 99 miles an hour to get Bregman.
Last 8 starts for Luis Severino have been dominant. 5-0 at 1.87 ERA. That opponent average under 200. And again, it's basically just a fastball slider mix. But again, Severino leads Major League Baseball by averaging just over 98 miles an hour with that fastball, much like you saw the one to Alex Bregman to strike him out at 99.
Not only does he have the highest velocity average fastball of starters, he's also able to locate it. He's been throwing that pitch for strikes for the most part this year. He's ahead of Altuve 0-1. Bounces that one up there. But his last start, his command got a little shaky, as Blemmer was referencing, with those 4 walks. That's why he only lasted 6 innings against the Angels. There's another fastball for a strike. One, 2, 3 inning for Severino. He starts this one the way he faced the Astros last time. Left-hander Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, he's got a great ERA at 3.39. Still trying to work that down. Doing a good job. In 11 starts, he has thrown 69 innings. That whip creeping closer to 1, also at 1.17. The opponent batting average at 239. The 58% ground ball percentage, even though it leads Major League Baseball, is still not Dallas Keuchel-like. Usually when Dallas Keuchel is going well, it's above 60 by a good ways. But still able to get outs with runners on base when he gets those ground balls. Use that defense behind him. We talk about the soft contact quite a bit too.
Yankees starting lineup for Aaron Boone has a couple of errands at the top, with Hicks and Judge, followed by Giancarlo Stanton. Gary Sanchez will DH tonight. Tyler Austin plays first base. Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, moves up to the 6th spot. Didi Gregorius at 7. Miguel Andujar and Austin Romine round out your Yankees lineup. Hicks takes the first pitch from Dallas for a ball. It's 1-0. Hicks battling an 0 for 14 overall against Keuchel in his career. He's 2 for 19, including the postseason. Out at the plate, it's 1-1. Dallas making his second start on this road trip. Pitched in that game against Cleveland where the Astros broke out for 11 runs. Dallas went 6 innings, allowing 2 earned runs. All the Astros runs coming after Dallas was out of the game. This ball hit hard but foul into the second deck as Hicks pulled through it. It's 1-2.
Dallas will be okay with that. Go ahead and yank that ball foul. That's that cut fastball. As a hitter, when you're trying to figure out how to keep that thing fair, that's usually when you create the soft contact or the swing and miss. Because it just, when it is on, just keeps boring in on those hands.
A little foul tip. Staying alive at the plate. Keuchel makes his 12th start of the year. Earlier start today. Sun still out in parts of the outfield. Most part of the field is in the shade as Keuchel almost gets Hicks again. Aaron just barely staying alive. See the sun setting and a little bit of splashes of sun throughout the outfield.
Peeking over the stands, but I don't think it's having much effect for the hitters. Not drastic enough behind Dallas Keuchel to really not be able to pick up the baseball out of his hand. Got our MD Anderson strike zone up. You can see the cut fastballs in and the curveballs down.
Fastball up, it's 2-2.
Possibly for effect.
Now the count's 3-2. Hicks moving into the leadoff spot tonight. Brett Gardner had the huge game last night for the Yankees in that leadoff spot. 4 hits, 2 home runs, including the game-tying home run in the 9th inning. Gardner with the day off against the lefty Keuchel. That's ball 4. Hicks stayed alive on a couple of foul tips. With 2 strikes, just barely staying alive, ended up drawing a walk. That'll bring up Aaron Judge. Pitch a little in. Dallas wanted it. It's 1-0. Saw Judge's numbers against the Astros this year. Overall, the Astros pitching staff's done a pretty good job against some of their bigger hitters. Not just this year, but in their career. This ball's hit hard, though, towards left. Marwin hustles over to backhand it. He'll throw to second to keep Judge at first. And the Yankees with an early rally, first and third. Nobody out on the line drive single by Judge.
Trying to come inside, but elevated. What was that cut fastball? It kind of flattened out a little bit. Aaron Judge is a big man. When you're that size, you see him standing in the middle of the box, but on our Mattress Firm Supermo, you see the spin and you see the ability of a large human to bring the hands in to get the barrel to it and turn on it.
So Judge leaves the batter's box, and the other big man steps in there. Giancarlo Stanton takes it up and in.
There's 113 miles an hour off the bat of Aaron Judge.
See Giancarlo's numbers against Dallas. 2 of those home runs, his 2 home runs have come in his last 3 at bats. And he has hit well against lefties since the end of April, hitting at .438. Center field. Jake Marisnick, a diving catch. He makes a great play. A run will score, but Jake saved potential damage for extra base hit and a possible second run as he makes a great diving catch in center field.
Baseball's amazing because you remember a lot of the stuff that happens later in the innings, but sometimes you need big plays early in the game to help you out. And even though a run scores on this is a huge play early in the game for Dallas Keuchel. If that gets past Jake, Aaron Judge is off the races, possibly scoring, and Giancarlo Stanton is standing somewhere with an extra base hit.
That was very impressive, picking that ball up just before it hit the ground. And now Gary Sanchez bats. Takes a pitch up high for a ball, 1-0.
And that's why Jake is still appealing to A.J. Hinch. He is here for his glove. He knows that. That's why you see him getting good jumps and laying out when he has to. He understands the moment, but he comes up with big plays on the defense because offensively it just hasn't clicked yet.
Off the bat, that looked like a sure hit.
I completely agree.
Jay covered a lot of ground. Will be interesting to see what the catch probability was on that one.
I'm on it.
That could be a 4 or a 5-star catch for Jake.
Because that ball was hit well, too.
So see if Dallas can take advantage of a great defensive play behind them to work through this inning.
Catch probability, you ready for this? 20%.
Yes.
That is a 5-star.
We got a 5-star for Jake.
And to hold on to it laying out.
That is the lowest catch probability made by an Astros outfielder all season long. The previous low was a Tony Kemp catch in Cleveland where he went up against the wall in the corner in left field.
And just to give everybody an idea, the opportunity time he had to react and go get that ball, 3.8 seconds.
Wow. First inning has given Dallas some problems, as you may have just seen. 7.29 ERA in the first. And he gives up one here in this inning. And the second walk of the inning issued by Dallas Keuchel. Well, that's a little unusual, as AJ knows that that's not the Dallas he's used to watching. Two walks matches his highest total in any of his last 8 starts.
Yeah, the month of May has been good for Dallas. And again, the record is an issue just because sometimes you're not getting the run support you'd like to see, or the bullpen comes in and gives up that lead. But he is 2-2 in the month of May with a 2.73.
There's a strike to Tyler Austin. Austin getting the start today at first base, overall hitting .231 with 8 home runs. He's hitting .273 against left-hand pitching this year. And Dallas ahead 0-2. Astros winning the game on Memorial Day 5-1. Yankees coming from behind to win last night's game in a 10th inning walk-off base hit by Gleyber Torres after Gardner tied it up in the 9th. This one gets away from Stassi. That'll advance the runners to second and third respectively. Judge to third, Sanchez to second.
Seen that happen a couple of times in this ball game already. can see when he got the glove in between his legs, kind of as it hit his left thigh, kind of closed that glove off a little bit and skipped away.
Now with the runners moving up, the infield will come in. Another one bouncing in there. Stassi blocks this one. It's 2-2. If you weren't with us last night, Max Stassi now the new #1 catcher, if you will, with Brian McCann going on the 10-day DL. While McCann's on the DL, Stassi getting a start last night and tonight. Tim Fedorovich added to the roster from AAA Fresno. Fedorovich will probably get the start tomorrow to open up the series with the Red Sox. Austin fouls one away. Dallas has had to throw a lot of pitches already, 23, and we still only have one out in the first. Dallas had a stretch where he went at least 7 innings in 4 starts in a row and 5 out of 6, but he has failed to go more than 6 in his last 2 starts. Does get a strikeout there, his first of the night, getting Tyler Austin swinging. And that's 2 outs.
Dallas having to work. Cut fastball up. Austin got a little big on that one.
Here's Gleyber Torres. He walked off the game last night for the Yankees with a single to right against Brad Peacock in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Gave the Yankees a 6-5 win after they had tied it at 5 on a 2-run home run in the 9th. Astros 3-3 on this road trip going into Cleveland and New York, but easily could be 5-1. A.J. Hinch has seen a 5-run lead and a 2-run lead evaporate in the bottom half of the 9th inning on Sunday and Tuesday. Two and 1 to count. Torres, the American League Player of the Week last week. 9 RBIs in 6 games, and he hits a line drive right at Yuli Gurriel to end the inning. So run scores, couple of walks and a hit. It's 1-0 Yankees.
Your local Ford dealers, Luis Severino's pitch mix. He's a 3-pitch pitcher. One of them comes in there 98 miles an hour consistently. The other one is a slider. He has various breaks on it. And then there's the changeup. Not afraid to throw it right on right. But he does a great job of using that mix and really works off that fastball. There you see it. 49% of the time you're getting that fastball, 37% of the time you're getting that slider, and the K percentage is very high on that slider at 58%. The batting average against that slider is very low at 159.
Hey, he can be really tough. Astros saw that firsthand in that game at Minute Maid Park on the 2nd of May. Severino working with a 1-0 lead now. Will face Carlos Correa. Correa swings to the first pitch and bounces a foul. Carlos, one of the few Astros with really good numbers against Severino. 5 for 11 in his career. A couple of doubles, a home run. Home run coming last year in the postseason. But he's down to the count here, 0-2. There's that slider. Homer mentioned the strikeout percentage. He picks up another one on the slider for the first out of the second.
That's a good one. You can see that wicked break on it. That thing is tight. 88 miles an hour. Getting on the side of it, creating that sideways spin. That's a great look at the slider break.
Carlos wasn't even close, and he's not a guy that you make look bad on many swings. Shows you how good that slider is. Here's Yuli Gurriel.
Well, the interesting thing about you saying that about Carlos Correa is he's actually gotten better this month about hitting the off-speed pitches. And I feel like sometimes he's almost sitting on some of the off-speed pitches, but Severino's got a pretty nasty one to defend tonight.
Fly ball in the shallow right. Judge is there. And Yuli's retired for the second out of the inning. Severino, with that shutout against the Astros on the second, has not pitched more than 7 1/3 innings in any of his other starts. Mentioned he has 4 straight of 6 inning appearances. But tonight he is off to a quick start, retiring the first 5 as he faces Marwin Gonzalez. And he throws a fastball for a strike. Only Justin Verlander has a higher in-zone percentage with the fastball than Luis Severino. As he dots up another fastball, and it's quickly 0-2.
How about the exaggerated setup by Romine behind home plate? I mean, he is well outside that catcher's box, basically putting that right knee on the outside corner.
Swing and a miss, 3-pitch strikeout. Severino has 4 strikeouts and has retired the first 6 batters in 21 pitches.
iconic event in the history of the Astrodome. Was it the first ever game, the exhibition game against the Yankees in '65? The game of the century, Battle of the Sexes, Billie Jean King, or the last game, clinching the division there in 1999. We asked this because the eighth wonder of the world received a very high honor yesterday. A marker designating the Astrodome as a recorded Texas historic landmark was unveiled at a ceremony. Several speakers there, Larry Durker and Tal Smith, you saw, were on hand. Very cool, though. It's about as high as you can get there. You're talking about a structure in the state of Texas. Gotta go check that out.
There you go. Eighth wonder of the world turns into a historic landmark in Houston. So the Stroh poll is about the Astrodome today. A couple of baseball choices, a college basketball choice, and a tennis exhibition. The Battle of the Sexes, Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King. Didi Gregorius leads things off. Bottom of the second inning, Dallas Keuchel down 1-0.
Whoa.
He's just texting Max.
Testing his Adam's apple.
1-2 to count. Well, early on, it appears like Luis Severino has his stuff tonight, and he makes it look like you do not want to get very far behind in this one. It's 1-0 now. Dallas strikes out Gregorius. Tip caught by Stassi. 2 strikeouts for Dallas, and there's 1 out in the second.
No, this is great for the city of Houston, recognizing the Astrodome. You also got to appreciate Mike Acosta on the left side there and all the effort he put into this. He's the guy that is always sitting next to the Astros dugout when bats are broken or baseballs are thrown out. You'll see the bat boy bring the baseball or bat over and toss it into that first row, and it's usually to Mike Acosta. He'll sit there and authenticate it, so when they sell it out of the team store, they make sure that it's MLB authenticated. But he is a big-time Houston Astro historian, and I know he's proud of the fact that now that the Astrodome is that historical landmark.
That was a cool story with ALCS Game 7 and George Springer catching the final out to send the Astros to the World Series, and Springer had the ball in his glove and went to get it authenticated and then handed it over to his manager AJ Hinch.
That's awesome.
And George told AJ's wife Erin, don't let him give it to anybody else. He deserves this. Because knowing AJ, as generous as he is. So that was a pretty cool gesture from the center fielder who has the night off tonight. 2-1 the count to Miguel Andujar. He sends one into right center field. Pretty well hit, but Tony Kemp is back there. He'll call Jake off and make the play for out number 2. New championship gold gear and merchandise is now available at the Astros team store, which includes the McCullers, Peacock, and Morton jerseys. Visit astros.com/team store for hours and information. The gold rush was so popular, they're bringing it back again. Different look for the Astros.
Dang it. I should have asked him to make that uniform for me.
Ooh, for the Hall of Fame Classic?
Yeah. Oh.
That would have been rich.
I don't think I deserved it, but it would have been worth the effort.
Here's Austin Romine taking a ball. Dallas drops in the hook for a strike. It's 1-1. We have seen this before from Dallas where, and you saw the numbers in the first inning. Sometimes that first inning jumps up and gets them a little bit, and then we'll see him settle in for the next 3 or 4. See if that happens tonight, but first inning today, a couple of walks and a hit and a run scored.
Dallas does better against teams that will go out there and chase and maybe expand those edges a little bit.
He has a good inning here as Austin Romine grounds out to Carlos Correa. 1-2-3 second. We head to the third, still 1-0.
7 career games at Yankee Stadium for the Lumberjack. Evan Gattis making friends in this stadium. Hitting .400, that OPS at 1380 means he's doing damage. 11 RBIs, 9 runs scored. That is impressive work here at Yankee Stadium. Evan Gattis would like to continue that. He's had himself a great May also. Things are warming up. The hands feel better around that wood. 21 games that average up to 283, and he's got 6 home runs and 16 RBIs.
That was the one component of the offense that was really missing in the first month, even 5 weeks. It took Gattis a while to get rolling, and that DH spot really hadn't produced much. And now all of a sudden, Gattis saw the numbers in the month of May, even better here recently. 3 home runs his last 3 games on this trip. Has 7 runs batted in and hitting close to .400 on the trip. And what we've seen out of Evan is, it seems simplistic, but just lock it in on the strike zone. He's not chasing. He used to get behind in the count, and then he was down 0-1, 0-2 almost every at bat.
Well, remember what I was saying. You get to a point in the season or in a slump where you're trying some things, you're trying to make adjustments, and I think coming out of spring training, he really had that bat pinned to his right shoulder, and it didn't look comfortable because I'm used to old Evan Gattis where he had the bat moving around like he did now. But once you start slumping a little bit and things get a little out of control, you revert back to who you are and who got you here. And that's what it was good to see about Evan Gattis. He doesn't have the prototypical swing. He spreads out, he gets low, he's a big man, and he muscles the baseball all over the field. And I feel like that's what he's gotten back to doing, and it's been a lot of fun to watch here in May.
Gattis strikes out here.
But then you start feeling good and you face a guy like Severino.
Yeah. 5 strikeouts for Severino of the first 7 batters. This 24-year-old looks outstanding early on tonight. Here's Max Stassi. Stassi's been on a roll lately too, as he takes a called strike. Stassi overall batting .294 on the season, but .359 in his last 11 games. Severino's just dotting everything up, and he's working quickly too. Getting the side from Romine, and here's the 0-2. No chase there for Max. It's 1-2. Best first pitch strike percentage in the American League. Stassi stays alive. Last year, Severino finished in the top 3 in the Cy Young voting. And at age 24, he has a very bright future ahead of him. Stassi tried to hold up. He goes around. That is now 6 strikeouts in the first 8 batters for Severino, as Stassi couldn't quite check his swing.
Tonight's fan cam is presented by GulloAuto.com. Filing in here to Yankee Stadium. It's always fun trying to get into this place and out of this place before and after games. They've been drawing quite well here in recent days, especially because of this matchup between ALCS foes.
Here's Jake Marisnick taking a strike. And down in the count 0-2. Severino has thrown 32 pitches. Check that, 33 pitches, 25 strikes. Only 8 out of the zone. He has been locked in from the first pitch of this game. Even the misses are close. It's 1-2.
He is accurate with that heat.
Couple of near misses at 99.
Pretty good takes by Jake too.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. Severino, first time through the lineup, is perfect with 7 strikeouts.
MLB.TV. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. We've talked a lot about Dallas Keuchel and his success over the years against these New York Yankees. Even in that last start, taking the L, going 7 innings and giving up the 2 home runs to Giancarlo Stanton, which he was disappointed about. Said one of those pitches was pretty good. One of them he muscled out there, but overall felt really good about how he did against this lineup. He said they came out early, obviously trying to go the other way, so he made his adjustments and worked through them. But he said this is the kind of lineup where every single hitter presents a different challenge. They're tough, even for Dallas Keuchel, who's continued to put up good numbers against them, guys.
Yeah, it's definitely an evolving lineup, and Dallas struggled in that first inning, bounced back with a 1-2-3 second inning. Guys like Gleyber Torres and Miguel Andujar, a little different than the lineup he saw even earlier this year, as a ball sent to center field and Jake Marisnick makes the play. Well, Andujar played in that game, but Torres a recent addition. Well, Hicks walked and scored his first time, retired on a fly ball to center for the first out. There is the judge's chambers cheering on Aaron.
Do you get the robe if you buy a ticket up there?
I have no idea how that works, but that is a whole new section they have just built. Apparently so.
It's kind of cool.
Breaking ball, called strike to Judge. It's 0-1. Final line in that game Julia was referencing: 7 innings, 3 runs, a couple of home runs by Stanton, 5 strikeouts, and 6 hits overall allowed by Dallas. He did not walk a batter in that game. It's unusual to see him walk 2 in the first inning, especially walking Gary Sanchez. That's a guy he's had a lot of success against. 2-1 here to Aaron Judge.
Pitch that Dallas wants is that second pitch that was called for the first ball, that fastball in the inside corner. Because if he does get that inside corner called, kind of opens up the outside corner and gives a little more for the hitter to cover.
There's a strike and the count's full.
Wow. Dallas Keuchel challenged him.
Helmet comes off on the foul ball.
That was crazy.
looking out at the bleachers above the scoreboard in right center, there's a fan that showed up in the game to the game in a Boston Red Sox shirt. That is just asking for punishment.
Swing and a miss. Keuchel gets judged after being down 3-1. Keuchel bounces back for a strikeout, his second out of the third inning.
Well, we had a great catch off the bat of Stanton. Did a good job of staying on that pitch away. Thought he was going to drive in a couple of runs. But Jake Marisnick laying out, traveling 63 feet at just around 27 feet per foot. And then laying out, 20% catch probability. 5-star catch by Jake Marisnick to keep Mike Stanton off the base paths. That's not going to do it.
Base hit to center field by Giancarlo Stanton. He's on with 2 outs. Here's Gary Sanchez. He drew a walk his first time up. And he grounds one to the left side. Correa is there. He'll take the play to first and get Sanchez for the final out of the inning. Everybody was standing around, Yuli making sure there were 3 outs. Look at the dominant starting rotation. Justin Verlander's impact on and off the field. Plus assistant GM Mike Elias talks about the upcoming draft. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded Friday at 5 only on AT&T Sportsnet. Verlander brilliant again. The game on Monday, that 1.11 ERA, a dozen starts into the season. Tony Kemp will lead things off in the 4th inning. Astros have not had much success against Luis Severino, putting just 2 balls in play. Kemp was one of them, hitting a fly ball to the left. The other was Yuli Gurriel hitting a fly ball to right. Everybody else has been struck out by Luis Severino, and all 7 strikeouts are swinging Ks. He has been tremendous first time through the lineup, but he's behind Kemp here 2-0. Season high in strikeouts for Severino is 11. His career high last year against the White Sox, 12. Kemp fouls one back. It's 2-1.
Yeah, he's got the stuff to go out there and rack up some strikeouts. Doing a great job here early in this game. But last season at 23 years old, 193 in a 3rd innings pitched, 230 strikeouts.
That ball off the glove of Severino would have been a hit. Instead, he recovers and fires a strike to Tyler Austin to get Tony Kemp for the first out. Kemp hit it hard. Looked like he was going to have himself a base hit, but Severino stuck that glove out.
No, Severino reacted great on that line drive back to him. And you see up the middle, nobody there. If that gets past Severino, that's a base hit. Tony Kemp can't believe it. On a line right at the glove. Luckily, it was on that glove side of Severino.
Well, Kemp hasn't had very good luck either as a base runner or as a hitter the last few innings. Late in last night's game, he was a base runner trying to go from second to third on a wild pitch that bounced back to Gary Sanchez on the fly and was the only way he was able to throw out Kemp on an Aroldis Chapman fastball.
On that last play, Kemp thought he had a base hit, staying on that slider, hustling the whole way, and just couldn't believe it. I feel you.
1-1 to count to Alex Bregman. Slider for a called strike. It's 1-2. Kemp, we have talked about being like a second leadoff hitter when he bats in the 9th spot. Tonight with George Springer resting, Kemp actually gets to lead off. 2-2 the count. Just in off the plate, and the count's 3-2.
I'm not sure if it's a camera angle or maybe we didn't pick up on it last time we saw Severino pitch in Minute Maid Park, but there looks to be just a slight little hint of a cut on that fastball.
To short, in between Hopper and Gregorius, he makes the play. Couple of groundouts in this inning after 7 strikeouts of the first 9 batters. That'll bring up Jose Altuve. Altuve struck out his first time up. Jose is 13 for his last 24. Has that batting average riding up to .332 to start tonight's play. Continues to hit well on the road. Nobody in baseball with a better average away from home than Altuve. This one's in on him. It's 2-1.
Yeah, you put him in a gray uniform, he literally turns into Ted Williams. Hitting .395 on the road.
Numbers were huge last year away from home as well. Two and two the count. On the ground, right side, and there it is. The Astros have their first base runner. Who else but Jose Altuve with the first hit of the night for the Astros. Wasn't hit hard, but it was in the right spot.
It was a little bit of a cut fastball at 98 going away from Altuve. And they had that basically a right-handed pull shift against him. And he's explaining to Tyler Austin how unbelievable it is that he got a hit off Severino after some of the stuff he's seen throughout the day.
We don't see too many of those righty pull shifts with Altuve batting.
Yeah, and I was in Cleveland that first night too where they had a massive shift on him too, and I really feel that Altuve is one of those guys that could really use that to his advantage. I think he's that good.
Carlos Correa, of all the guys in the lineup, grades out the best against Severino, according to StatCast. Yuli Gurriel has the better overall raw numbers. And Carlos, with the expected slugging percentage and batting average, the highest numbers against Severino in this lineup. 1-1 to count.
Changeup.
A rare changeup from Severino, and he saves those for the guys that he fears the most.
It wasn't a great one, but again, when you're trying to square up a guy throwing 98 miles an hour, at 13-mile-an-hour difference between the changeup and the fastball, it doesn't have to be located perfectly. It's just the arm action that creates the deception, and then the ball just never gets there.
Oh, if nothing else, the Astros have made Severino work a little bit this inning after he was cruising along in the first 3 innings. A couple of ground outs and a ground ball single by Altuve. Now a 2-1 count to Carlos Correa. And he ropes one foul down the left field line.
Good grief.
Mentioned at the first game of the series, Yankee Stadium, one of the few ballparks that has that screen all the way down the line to the outfield.
That was a changeup too. He almost squared that thing up and stayed back long enough, but he had a rocket and it would have been into the seats if it wasn't for that net.
And you get 99 off the changeup.
And it's actually, I'm pretty impressed that Carlos fought that off. That's not easy to do, to dial it down to around 85 miles an hour and then speed it up at 99.
And a good take there. This has been the best at bat of the night against Severino.
Absolutely. Great AB by Carlos. Now he wants something he can handle and drive. Get these Astros going with 2 outs in this inning. Keep him uncomfortable. Carlos with the good numbers. Yuli right behind him with good numbers against Severino, like Todd said.
Swing and a miss. Severino able to come back and get Correa for his 8th strikeout. 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Still 1-0. Severino looks tough, but some better at bats we saw that last inning.
Yeah, that was as dominant as we've seen in the first time through the order. I mean, it was with 7 punch outs through 9 hitters, and then our guys had a little bit better second time through. We need to try to figure out, which elite pitch to hit, the slider, the changeup, or the fastball. He's been tough.
It is tough. Explain to the fans at home what it means to give a guy a day off for you.
Well, I mean, I know our guys, and I think it's hard to ever come to the ballpark and not play our best guys. But sometimes there's some clues that we know behind the scenes. We know how they're feeling. We know what a day off means to them at the time when we're doing it. We're about to go face a lot of left-handed pitching at home. I like to give guys days off on the road if I can. That's why you've seen after this long, we played till midnight in Cleveland, then we played the day game, 14 innings, and we played a day game here on Monday. Extra innings last night, so our boys need a little bit of a blow.
AJ, we appreciate the time as always.
You got it, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
AJ.
you.
Good luck.
Appreciate AJ Hinch checking in with us, getting ready for the bottom half of the 4th inning. Dallas Keuchel with a 2-1 count on Tyler Austin. Yankees leading 1-0. It'll be Austin, Gleyber Torres, and Didi Gregorius. Dallas able to strike out Austin his first time up. Guess on a swing and miss there, it's 2-2. And he's able to strike him out for the 2nd consecutive time. 4 strikeouts overall for Dallas. And he has really looked better after a walk, single, sac fly walk start to this game.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the first inning has created issues for Dallas Keuchel, but once he's able to work out of that, seems to settle in, and we're starting to see some of that paint come out of that left arm. A couple of back-to-back great changeups to get the strikeout of Tyler Austin. On our Mattress Firm Supermo, you can see that circle change and the movement it creates going down and away from the hitter. Nicely done, but he spotted them both in great spots.
Gleyber Torres, the batter, lined out to Yuli Gurriel to end the 1st inning, his first time up. There's that changeup. Torres way out in front. It's 1-2. Dallas 10 starts against these Yankees over his career, 7 regular season, 3 in the postseason. 9 of them were quality starts. The only one that wasn't was Game 5 here at Yankee Stadium last year in the ALCS. That game, Dallas lasted 4 2/3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 7 hits. No swing from Torres. It counts 2-2. Astros wrapping up this 7-game road trip. It will be a winning or losing road trip based on tonight's result. 2-2 in Cleveland. Splitting the first 2 games here at Yankee Stadium. Torres a fly ball to left field. Marwin Gonzalez puts it away for out number 2.
League leaders are brought to you by Houston Methodist. Lowest ERAs versus any opponent. Dallas Keuchel leading the way against these New York Yankees with a 1.74. And then a couple of Astros against their division rival Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Lance McCullers and Justin Verlander have a 1.90 and a 1.99 respectively against those teams. Chris Sale with the Boston Red Sox got a great ERA against these Yankees also. Kind of interesting that a couple of left-handers, different styles of left-handers, have good numbers against some strong right-handed hitters in this Yankees lineup.
Here's Didi Gregorius. He struck out his first time up. Keuchel and Sale, other than the fact that they throw left-handed, don't have a lot in common in how they attack hitters.
Yeah, it'd be a tough conversation to compare notes.
0-1 pitch. It's now 0-2. We'll see Chris Sale on Friday night. In case you haven't looked ahead on the matchups for the weekend with the Boston Red Sox in town, you may want to check out Friday's game. Garrett Cole against Chris Sale. There's the guy in the right field bleachers that showed up in the Red Sox jersey that did not receive a very warm reception when he walked to a seat. Drew Pomeranz versus Lance McCullers Jr. tomorrow to kick off the 4-game series. Sale and Cole on Friday. Price and Verlander on Saturday. Porcello and Morton on Sunday. That is a premier 4-game series. That last pitch misses inside the DD. It's 2-2.
Yeah, I'm glad we're calling at least 2 of them.
National games on Saturday and Sunday. Gregorius goes down swinging. Stassi was going to tag him, but he doesn't have to. That's a strikeout. So the inning is over. Dallas gets a couple of Ks, and he has 5 in the game.
Who am I? I want to ride a cycle. A real general, notable appearance. If you know the answer to name that Astro, tweet your answer to @ATTSportsNetSW. And later in this ball game, we will reveal if you are wrong or right.
5th inning baseball.
She was telling Dad the answer.
Astros fans all over the place. Cleveland, New York. Yuli Gurriel first pitch swinging. Not a bad idea against Severino, as his command has been sharp, but this one doesn't work out for Yuli as he pops one up to shortstop for the first out of the 5th inning. Severino allowing a ground ball single to Jose Altuve, and that's it so far in 4 innings. He has struck out 8. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Astros starting the night in first place, still just a game ahead of Seattle. Yankees start the night 2 games behind Boston in the AL East. Astros facing in succession Cleveland, the Yankees on the road, then Boston at home. All 4 teams that were involved in the ALDS last year going head to head for about 10 days, and then Seattle right now would be the extra team in the playoff picture, as you see the current standings in the American League West, despite the huge difference in run differential. Huge. Plus 125 for the Astros. You have to go all the way back to the 53 Yankees last time a team had that kind of run differential at this point of the season through 56 games.
Wow. It's pretty incredible, as rough as some of these games have been for the Houston Astros, that they are still putting up historic tight numbers.
Two and two to Marwin. Down and away, 3-2. And with that run differential, Blummer, the expected win and loss in the AL West, Seattle would be 14 games back instead of 1 game back.
And the Astros would have one of the most incredible records ever to start a season at 43-13.
Well, that last pitch missed was a walk to Marwin Gonzalez. We mentioned every once in a while, you did, that the walks can creep up on this guy. On a 3-2 pitch that missed to Marwin, he issues his first walk.
Well, now in his 12th start, he's only had 1 start where he hasn't walked a batter.
Crazy part about his last start against the Angels is that he was filling up the zone with called strikes, yet he still ended up with 4 walks. So the Angels must have been taking a lot of pitches that night.
That is pretty amazing. 27 called strikes in that ball game.
27. And he still walked 4 batters. And even with all those called strikes, he got just 5 strikeouts, which is hard to imagine looking at his stuff.
It is.
Oh, 1 is fouled at the plate. Called strikes May 25th against the Angels. His last start.
And that highlighted changeup in the bottom of the zone was the only called 3rd strike. It's unreal. Maybe just threw first pitch strikes to everybody and that was it.
And that's why I think you saw Tony Kemp come out swinging first pitch of the game.
Be aggressive.
Yuli swung first pitch of this inning. Neither one resulted in a hit. But when a guy's been filling up the zone, not a bad idea if you see a pitch early on that you like. Gaddis down to the count 1-2. He struck out his first time up. A little soft broken bat ground ball towards Torres. His throw in time to get Gaddis. On the play, Marwin moves to second. Julia.
Shiner box spotlight falls on Max Stassi coming up now. Doubled last night, keeping the streak alive. 6-hit streak. He's looked pretty good his last 11, and that's the numbers we're looking at now. 359, a slugging, 641's got a couple of home runs in that streak. He worked so hard, really the last couple of years with Jeff Albert, who's now the assistant hitting coach now, on several things. He had some really tough seasons offensively and knew it wasn't going to be enough to get a chance at the big league level. And so here now he's figured some things out. He's just trying to stay consistent because he's been able to help the ball club. But a lot of that comes from his preparation, especially when he wasn't playing every day. He was able to not just study what he needed to do behind the plate, but at the plate facing some of these big league pitchers every day.
Good for Max, getting the most at bats in one season that he's ever had. He's already eclipsed his previous 5-season total combined this year. As he takes a close pitch there, it's 1-1. Stassi finally getting a chance to play at the big league level consistently, making his first opening day roster, and knowing that he and Brian McCann would be the key catchers this year. McCann going on the DL with a little bit of a knee injury. Now to be Stassi and Tim Fedorovich. And last year it was Stassi and Juan Centeno who filled in nicely when either Brian McCann or Evan Gaddis was hurt. Stassi gets into one deep to left center field, sending Hicks all the way back. He is looking up. Gone! Into the Astros bullpen. Max Stassi, a 2-run home run, and the Astros lead 2-1.
Maximus. I'll tell you what, Luis Severino didn't know his name
before the game. He knows it now.
That was a loud, high, towering drive.
You lay off the slider just off the edge, get it called a ball, put him in a fastball count, and you dial that dial up to be able to catch up to 97, 98 miles an hour. Actually, that was 99, I think. 99-mile-an-hour fastball coming in. Going out, 107.5.
Wow.
This is coming in a hurry and leaving him even quicker, but that's elevated in that swing path. 33-degree launch angle and 423 feet later. Maximus wanted to know if everybody's entertained.
Takes 99 up in the zone, deep into the Monument Park area.
Extends that hitting streak too.
He's been rolling lately. Jake down to the count 1-2. Severino bounces one up there. Well, the Astros hadn't done much against Severino all night long. A little ground ball single by Jose Altuve. Marwin Gonzalez drew a walk in this inning. And then Max Stassi unloaded on a 2-run home run. Jake goes down. Strikeout victim for the second time. 9 strikeouts for Severino.
Stassi stepping up big. Elevated heat gets elevated for a celebration.
Presented by Rooms to Go. When it's time to decorate, Rooms to Go makes it easy and fast, all at great low prices. And by T-Mobile. Show your military appreciation and use hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. T-Mobile will donate $1 for each post. Dallas Keuchel working with a lead for the first time, facing Miguel Andujar. Start the bottom half of the 5th inning, and Andujar flied out to right his first time up. Dallas, after the early rough start, has settled in nicely. He is retired 11 of the last 12 batters since the Sanchez walk in the 1st inning. Upstairs, it's 2-1. It'll be Andujar, Austin Romine, and Aaron Hicks. A couple of singles allowed by Keuchel and a couple of walks tonight. Three and one. Now still gets soft contact percentage way up there. Chris Sale and Dallas Keuchel 1 and 2 in that category. This ball is hit relatively hard, but at Altuve. Jose makes the play for out number 1. Come out to Minute Maid Park for Friday Night Fireworks presented by Occidental Petroleum this Friday as the Astros take on the Boston Red Sox. The fireworks this Friday are themed to summer songs. Visit astros.com/Friday night for tickets and info. Again, that'll be not only a big and bright Friday night, it'll be Garrett Cole against Chris Sale in that one. Here's Austin Romine. Romine grounded out to short his first time up. Two 2-0 the count. Base hit into center field. Third hit allowed by Keuchel. All singles. Romine is a 1-out base runner. Romine's done a good job spelling Gary Sanchez behind the plate this year, coming in batting over .350. Back to the top of the order for the Yankees and Aaron Hicks. Hicks walked and he hit the ball hard his last time up, but lined out to center field. Just missed the inside edge. Hicks 2 for 20 in his career against Dallas. Batting average not where he would like it, coming in at .230 overall. He does draw a lot of walks and plays a very solid defense for Aaron Boone. Swings through that pitch. It's 1-2. Looking at that 1953 Yankees team that was the last team with this good of a run differential 56 games in. They had Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, Johnny Mize, Phil Rizzuto.
I think I've heard of those guys.
Finished 99 and 52 that year. Not too shabby. Swing and a miss. Hicks goes down swinging. Dallas up to 6 strikeouts now. 2 outs in the 5th.
He's got a couple of strikeouts elevated. It's kind of interesting because we always talk so much about Dallas being so good down in the zone and off the edges, but start getting those guys thinking down, able to sneak the cheese past them every once in a while up in the zone like he just did. Just a 4-seam fastball. We're so used to seeing Dallas Keuchel with the 2-seam sinking it. But in order to get it to ride maybe just a little bit more up in the zone, goes to the 4-seam when he can.
1-0 count to Aaron Judge. Judge has a single and a strikeout. And a count of 2-0. Into shallow right, long run for Kemp. He won't get there. Kemp will get the ball back in with a runner at third base, making sure he doesn't score. As Judge bloops one into shallow right for a base hit, sending Romine to third.
Well, Kemp was out there defending the Judge's chambers. Basically had both pockets of his pants up against the wall. Good pitch by Dallas, getting in on the hands of Aaron Judge, tying him up. But not enough to get it out to where Tony Kemp was, who had to come charging a long way in to get that baseball and keep Romine at third base.
Now Dallas will deal with Giancarlo Stanton, who has a sacrifice fly and a single. Ground ball foul over the head of Romine. Dallas ahead 0-2 as he gets Stanton to chop a couple of ground ball fouls down the third base side. Bit inside, it's 1-2. Stanton 4 for 9 against Dallas with a couple of home runs.
3 straight cutters inside. Good idea trying to go with that four seam. As a hitter, you're seeing the spin and the reaction of the baseball. 3 cutters in a row, you realize they're trying to get in on your hands. Then you throw the four-seamer that doesn't cut. Sometimes those guys will give up on it. Stan did a good job of fighting that off. But you've got him to chase a couple of pitches on the inside. There you go, change up away.
Four-seamer got Aaron Hicks earlier that we showed you. Riding up in the zone. Now the count's full. Walk number 3 issued by Keuchel. We'll load up the bases. Judge to second, Stanton to first, Romine at third.
Really trying to work Stanton up and in.
Dallas has had success against Gary Sanchez throughout his career. 1 for 13 with 8 strikeouts. He did ground out his last time up after walking in the first. And on his hands, foul ball. It's 0-1. Sanchez DHing tonight. Down to the count 0-2. Dallas gets the fastball by him. Now Dallas can go to a variety of choices here.
Well, it was interesting to see him keep going up and into Stanton and only threw 1 changeup away. But that's what sometimes you see guys elevate with any kind of velocity. They try and go down and away with the off speed, but some options here because Dallas is ahead 0-2.
Tries to get him the fish a little bit. That's down and away. It's 1-2.
And again, sometimes it's such a drastic difference that sometimes a hitter will recognize early enough and lay off it. That's why the changeup can be so effective, because it looks like a strike until it gets into the zone and just bails out.
Foul. Big spot in this game for Keuchel. He's at 92 pitches in the 5th inning. Astros just giving him the lead in the top half of this inning. Yankees threatening with the bases loaded here and 2 out. Ground ball, base hit into the open area on the right side. That will score 1. Here comes the throw to third. It's going to be cut off. 3-2 Yankees lead on the 2 RBI single by Sanchez.
Opted to go with the fastball away. I thought maybe the changeup away. That shift on. Able to shoot it through the other way. Tony Kemp came up throwing, trying to get Stan at third base, and Carlos cut it off. Wonder if there would have been a play at third base. Tough to tell. Just I don't think Gary Sanchez was going anywhere. There was really no reason to cut it off and keep him at first base.
That's the thing. There was really no threat of Sanchez advancing. I'd like to see that throw go through if possible. Here's Tyler Austin, who has struck out a couple of times today against Dallas Keuchel. Sanchez hadn't had much success at all through his career against Dallas. Picks up a big hit there. Last year in the postseason, Dallas struck him out 5 consecutive at-bats. Game of adjustments. Sanchez able to put the bat on the ball in a couple of at-bats tonight. This ball fouled out of play, and Keuchel ahead of Austin 0-2. Yankees answered the Astros 2 with 2 of their own in the 5th inning. 3 hits and a walk, all singles. Michael ends the inning with a strikeout, getting Austin for the 3rd time. The Yankees come back to regain the lead as 3-2 heading to the 6th.
Ride a cycle, a real general and notable appearance. Did you guys guess right at home? Bob Watson, first player to hit for a cycle in American and National League. Former general manager of the Astros and Yankees, appeared in 1977's Bad News Bears in breaking training. He's also worked in the Major League Baseball offices. I think he sent me a letter about a uniform violation one time.
Really?
Yeah. I refuted it. I fought it.
Tony Kemp, first pitch swinging, pops one up, foul territory, and Duhar and Gregorius there, and it's Gregorius who takes charge. What was the supposed offense that you fought?
Well, you know, players started to wear their pants over the shoe a little bit, so I had my pants long, and they were covering the 3/4 top spikes that I had, and I got a letter and it said you can't put your shoelaces through the pant to keep your pants down. I don't know if I sent the pants, but I made it specifically clear that I did not tie my pants to my shoes. I don't know where they came up with it, and we've seen some interesting violations of late with some of these guys, but it was a little nitpicky for me, so I fought it, didn't have to pay the fine.
So you got a nice letter from Bob Watson for that. Yeah. Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman into center field, pretty well struck, but right at Aaron Hicks, who puts it away for out number 2. Severino's been tough tonight. Only the Max Stassi home run. He put a charge into that one, a 2-run shot. Other than that, a single by Jose Altuve and a walk to Marwin Gonzalez. Those are the only base runners for the Astros. So the Altuve look and the other guys that wear the high stirrups never worked for you.
No, didn't like it. Not at all.
Altuve with a single and 2 at bats tonight. Takes one inside. It's 1-0. There's another base hit for Jose Altuve. What a roll he's on. Last 6 games, he is now 15 for 26. That batting average keeps skyrocketing.
He's in a good place. That foot getting down nicely. The hands waiting back in recognition and then turn on it. Getting the barrel to it. 103-mile-an-hour base hit to left field for Jose Altuve.
Here's Carlos Correa. He battled Severino his last time up, ended up striking out. He was in a 3-2 count, hit a couple of foul balls hard in that AB. Fouls the 97-mile-an-hour fastball away. It's 1-1.
I think Carlos wanted to get the head out on that one and drive it. I'm with him. That was in March or April. He's crushing that because that last pitch was kind of in that vicinity, down and away. But here in recent days, you can kind of see that hot cold zone flipped a little bit, trying to fight off that inside corner. Is leaving a big portion of the plate turning cold, namely that middle away.
That completely changed from 1 month to the next. Hot zone became the cold zone and vice versa. This one is popped high in the air, shallow right center field. The second baseman Gleyber Torres is there, makes the play. For the final out of the inning, Altuve with a base hit. He is left on. We head to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-2.
Dallas Keuchel on this date in 2015, which was his Cy Young year. First career 10-plus strikeout game against the Chicago White Sox in Minute Maid Park. That is where Dallas Keuchel did most of his work, was in Minute Maid Park, going undefeated that season during the regular season. That had all the pitches work, and that was really the first season that he kind of scrapped that curveball and went to just the various sliders, I guess, changing the velocity, changing the tilt on it. Created a ton of swings and misses. Did a good job of getting ground balls, too.
Dallas starts the 6th inning down 3-2, and with 97 pitches on his ledger, he does have 7 strikeouts. This ball hit hard past the diving Alex Bregman into the corner in left field. Gleyber Torres has himself a leadoff double here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Hit number 6 allowed by Keuchel. 4 of the 6 hits for the Yankees coming in the last couple of innings. That was the first extra base hit allowed tonight by Dallas. That gets Colin McHugh starting to throw in the Astros bullpen. Didi Gregorius a couple of strikeouts tonight against Dallas. And he chops one off his foot at the plate, and he goes down. It's 0-1. Seven strikeouts tonight for Dallas, just one off his season high when he struck out 8 Rangers 3 starts ago on May 13th. I think the at-bat that Dallas would love to have back as his night is nearing a close is that Sanchez at-bat. He was ahead of him 0-2. Even though he had walked Stanton in front of Sanchez, it looked like he didn't want to give Giancarlo anything too good to hit. And Giancarlo's had more success against him than Gary Sanchez has.
Yeah, it might have been that guy in the lineup that he didn't want to beat him, especially in that situation, considering what happened back at Minute Maid Park.
And after getting ahead of Sanchez 0-2, unable to finish him off. And even though the base hit wasn't a sharply hit ground ball, it was perfectly placed because the Astros were shifted on Sanchez, and they put one right into the second base area into right field for a 2 RBI single.
Yeah, and it was a fastball off the plate, but in a 2-strike count, most hitters will look at that or try and look for a fastball out over the plate. Man. That just went right through the wicket to Max Stassi. He's had some issues with the ball down, blocking it and keeping it in front of him. This one just skates right past him. But the fastball away is an easy pitch. Not an easy, it's an easier pitch in a 2-strike count to go the other way with.
Wow. That could easily have been called a pass ball.
Yeah, he just whiffed on that one.
Instead, they charged Dallas with a wild pitch.
But getting back to the 2-strike hit by Gary Sanchez, the fastball is 90, 91 miles an hour out over the plate. And you saw Gary Sanchez see the ball nicely, let it travel, and just got on top of it and hit an easy ground ball going the other way. It was fortunate in the sense that the shift was on and it was wide open, because if they're playing straight up, yes, that's an out, but the shift is on. The changeup, on the other hand, you either get the swing and miss, or that bat head has a little more time to travel because the pitch isn't getting there as quick, therefore possibly creating a rollover or a pop-up.
Two is ripped past Altuve into right field for a base hit. Gregorius with an RBI single. And for just the second time in his career against the Yankees, Dallas gives up more than 3 runs. Gave up 4 against them here in his last start in this stadium. Game 5 of the ALCS last year, and he has given up 4 again tonight.
Everything off the edges until 2 strikes and just leaves that fastball up. And Didi, we've seen in this series anywhere from 90 to 98 miles an hour. He can square up a fastball.
So Gregorius makes it a 4-2 game. Talk about the new pitcher when we come back.
Ultimate SW Fan WTX on Twitter to show us, and you could win a VIP experience. West Texas, May is your chance to show your spirit, so tweet now and win big.
Look at that. Little kid who's an Astros fan in the midst of all those Yankees fans. Gotta love that sport.
Good for him.
It's Colin McHugh, the new pitcher, taking over with nobody out and a runner on first base in the 6th inning.
Pretty interesting to see Colin McHugh in relief of Dallas Keuchel after seeing them back-to-back in the starting rotation for a couple of years previous. Colin McHugh adjusting to that position out there. Last pitched on the 27th against Cleveland. He went 2 innings.
Colin was one of those guys that really had to soak up some innings in that Cleveland series. Ended up pitching in that 14-inning game. He had thrown the night before 25 pitches and then threw over 30 pitches in that next outing the next day. Ended up giving up a tying home run in the 13th inning after the Astros had taken the lead in the top half with Evan Gattis. Pitch to Andujar, misses outside. It's 1-1. Miguel Andujar flied out to right and grounded out to second. Keuchel ends up going 5 innings plus 2 batters. He has allowed 7 Yankees hits. So far 4 runs. He is responsible for the runner on first. Struck out 7. Good breaking ball by Colin McHugh, and it's 1-2. McHugh's been very good this year out of the Astros bullpen. Been able to pitch in back-to-back games a couple of times, including that series in Cleveland. Figured out how to warm up a little more quickly than he had to as a starter. He said the one difference might be that when he warms up quickly, he might not have a chance to work on every pitch. So sometimes the 4-pitch repertoire becomes a 3-pitch repertoire, sometimes even a 2-pitch, but that curveball's been a big equalizer for him out of the bullpen as it was as a starter. There it is, gets a swing and a miss, striking out Miguel Andujar to start this inning. 8 overall strikeouts for Astros pitching as McHugh strikes out the first batter he faces.
That's a great curveball. Snap hook at the bottom of the zone. The aggressive Andujar swinging.
That home run he allowed to Yonder Alonso in the 13th inning on Sunday snapped a 19 1/3 scoreless streak. And for Colin, that was the longest streak of any Astros reliever since Will Harris had a 26 1/3 inning streak back in 2016. Astros bullpen against the Yankees has not done well this year. You just saw the numbers. The Astros bullpen against everybody else has been the best in baseball. The Yankees have done some damage against the Houston bullpen in 2018. There goes the runner, swing and a miss at the breaking ball. The throw is on the money. Gregorius out at second base. Max Stassi guns down Didi Gregorius for out number 2.
Nicely done by Max. Not the greatest of jumps by Didi. Good throw and great catch and tag by Altuve. Letting that ball travel, catch it and drop the tag.
Romine fouls one away. Romine singled with 1 out in the 5th. That started a 2-run rally. That would turn a 2-1 deficit into a 3-2 Yankees lead. He would score and Aaron Judge would score on the bases loaded 2-out single by Gary Sanchez. McHugh was brilliant here last time he pitched. 4 innings of no-hit baseball in the ALCS. Colin really saved the bullpen that night as the Astros would lose all 3 games at Yankee Stadium, but McHugh finished off that game, didn't have to use any other relievers in that outing. Inside is 3-2. That was game 3. Relief of Charlie Morton when the Astros lost that game 8-1. Colin went 4 innings, no hits, no walks. His last outing here at Yankee Stadium. A little bit inside on the 3-2 pitch, and Romine draws a walk. He's on base for the 2nd time.
Yeah, just didn't come back enough. Right idea.
A.J. Hinch looking on, knowing his bullpen has been used quite often in this series, and the Boston Red Sox are the next team around the corner. Red Sox probably already near or at their hotel in Houston getting ready for the game tomorrow. They had a day game today at home against Toronto and won 6-4. And McHugh's a guy that not only can pitch well out of the bullpen, but hasn't needed to pitch multiple innings very often. But tonight's a night where you can see him go 2 innings or more.
Absolutely. I'm sure he was hoping that he could get through this inning efficiently, trying to pitch out of some damage.
Chris Davinsky's pitched 3 straight games. No, 3 out of 4. Actually, he has gone 3 straight games. Giles would have gone 3 straight games had he gotten into the game last night.
And again, you can't discount when a guy has to get up and start firing and get hot. That's a little taxing on that arm too, even though they didn't get into the game and pitch.
Brad Peacock has pitched in 3 out of 4. So a lot of the guys in that bullpen Been used extensively, a couple of extra inning games in the last 3, as Brent Strom and Dallas Keuchel talk about tonight's outing. Hicks stays alive on the breaking ball. It's 1-2. Astros winning the season series last year against the Yankees 5-2. Yankees took 3 out of 4 at Minute Maid Park. Currently lead this year's season series 4-2, with tonight being the finale. Off the end of the bat, and that will stay foul. McHugh runs it down just in case.
Yeah, the urgency of Colin McHugh is because the shift is on, and Alex Bregman, the only guy on the left side, is playing a deep shortstop. Saw Didi Gregorius have one of those lucky hits earlier in the series. That's no man's land over there. Good pitch off the end of the bat. For extra measure, gives it a little boot.
Broken bat, little flare into left field, diving attempt. Marwin Gonzalez, he's unable to make it. Gets beyond him. That'll allow the run to come all the way around to score. Romine in from first base on the flare double by Aaron Hicks.
A ball club that is notorious with the phrase exit velocity is using lack of exit velocity to drive in a couple of runs. Marwin Gonzalez giving it his best shot, breaking on this in, laying out, came oh so close. But in getting by and with 2 outs, Austin Romine off to the races with the swing of the bat, scores.
Aaron Hicks with that base hit, snaps an 0 for 16. Didn't hit it hard, but just beyond the outstretched glove of a diving Marwin Gonzalez. Yankees take a 5-2 lead. Now McHugh has to deal with Aaron Judge.
How close was it?
Pretty close.
Oh, might have gotten a little leather.
Slowly hit towards Bregman at third. Alex makes the throw on the move in time to get Judge. Yankees score 2 in the inning and take a 5-2 lead into the 7th.
Presented by Texas Mahindra Dealers. This Friday, Strozone ticket holders receive an exclusive Astros All-Star t-shirt. Visit astros.com/Strozone now to purchase your tickets.
7th inning baseball. Astros have some work to do, down 5-2 now. Luis Severino will work with a 3-run lead. Had the longest time in the dugout in between innings, that last half inning. He'll face Yuli Gurriel, Marwin Gonzalez, and Evan Gattis in the 7th inning. As Yuli fouls one back. Yuli has flied to right and popped up to shortstop. Severino starting the inning with 86 pitches. He has struck out 9. He has double-digit strikeouts in 2 of his starts this year. On the ground, eats up Andujar, recovers, but no chance. Yuli has himself another hit. He has a hit in every game on this road trip. Astros with their 4th hit. Stassi a home run, Altuve a couple of singles. We'll see, make sure they call this a hit. They could call it an error, but that was a tough hop.
That was a real tough hop, and that ball was hit hard too by Yuli. Getting the head out, rifling that one. You could see Andujar didn't have time to really get those feet in position to get a better hop.
They are going to give Andujar an error. So no hit for Yuli, who had a hit in every other game on this road trip.
I thought they gave out plenty of those yesterday.
5 of them. How about the Yankees winning yesterday with 17 strikeouts on offense and 5 errors on defense?
It's only happened one other time in the history of the game.
That was back when they played in the 1800s.
With no gloves. And one bat.
Like a potato for a ball. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Yeah, it's a long time since that happened, but the Yankees able to overcome odds with 5 errors and 17 strikeouts. He had a walk-off win. Andujar makes his 2nd error in as many games, and Marwin Gonzalez bats. Marwin down to count 1-2.
Well, and ugly as that game was defensively for the Yankees with the 5 errors and then the 17 strikeouts on the offensive side for them, they lucked out in the sense that the Astros had 17 opportunities with runners in scoring position and only came through 3 times.
Yeah, that was the other part of the game. You kept wondering if the Astros could add to their 5-3 lead. It was 5-2 at one point. But multiple opportunities went by the boards, and AJ knew 2-run leads in this stadium sometimes end up in a tie game with a 31% hit probability, ending up in the seats. 2-2 pitch, foul tip, caught by Austin Romine for a strikeout. That's now number 10 for Severino, has double-digit strikeouts for the 3rd time this year. Struck out 10 Astros back on the 2nd in that complete game shutout. Also struck out 11 Red Sox, a season high in the next outing.
Considering how this game started, it's pretty impressive it took this long to get to 10.
Right. Struck out 7 of the first 9. And then 3 of the next 15. Here's Evan Gattis. He struck out his first time up and grounded out. Gattis hits it hard towards left, coming on Stanton. He'll watch it drop in front for a hit. So the Astros have put a couple on. It'll bring the tying run to the plate with the guy who hit a loud home run his last time up.
Maximus stepped in, got some high cheese, and absolutely obliterated it. 423 feet into that Astros bullpen. That was really at a time where we were concerned about the Astros trying to square up what Luis Severino was bringing.
Still no bullpen action going for the Yankees as Severino about to throw his 96th pitch of the game. Starts off Stassi with a slider after He watched that home run leave at 423 feet from home plate.
Severino's thrown over 100 pitches 4 times, topping out with 112 pitches back in April 22nd against Toronto.
Slowly hit towards short, and a collision as Yuli Gurriel and Miguel Andujar collide.
You just hope everybody's okay right now, because as a fielder you're not anticipating contact, and Yuli gave no effort to get out of the way. As a runner, you have to clear a path for that fielder to make the play. As soon as he picks up that ball, then you can do whatever you want to him. Wow. It was just too late by the time Yuli picked up where Andujar was going.
Yuli looking at the ball first, and then by the time he looks up, he is right on top of Andujar, and that is a major collision.
That was. We're just thankful Andujar's okay. He's up talking to the trainers now. He's got a smile on his face. But that bell got rung. Looks like Yuli's going back underneath with Jeremiah Randall, the head trainer for the Houston Astros. Check things out a little bit. Yeah, courtesy clap for Andujar staying in this game, because you could tell on that replay he had no idea the collision was coming.
Well, the Astros will have the tying run due up at the plate. It was going to be Jake Marisnick, but the guy who thought he had the day off is going to bat in a big situation here. George Springer has grabbed the bat, and he will pinch hit for Jake Marisnick.
Can I ask you a favor? How do you score that?
That would be interference, put out 5.
IP5?
I would write INT, actually.
INT?
And then 5 for the put out.
Wow.
We mentioned last night, AJ likes to give his guys the full day off unless there is a situation that really screams at him, and this would be that situation. Springer as the tying run against Severino. Jake had struck out a couple of times against Luis. George doesn't have very good numbers against Severino either. Not many guys do. But obviously the home run threat is always there with Springer at the plate. Takes a strike. Gaddis on second, Stassi on first. Astros down 5-2. Springer doesn't have a whole lot of pinch hitting experience in his career, especially the last few years. Meeting at the mound. George in his career as a pinch hitter has 2 plate appearances. One a sacrifice fly, and the other time he made it out. He was 0 for 2 as a pinch, 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter with a sac fly. This one foul and out of play.
Got a change up to hit.
Never easy when you're not in the game and have to come in and face a guy like Severino.
Not at all. Not accustomed to it, number one, and then you've got to find your timing real quick when a guy's pumping 99 miles an hour. But again, it's about opportunity, and AJ being forced into this situation late in this ball game, and a couple of runners on, and one swing could tie it up.
Way upstairs, it's 2-2. Yankees do have bullpen action going now with Severino at 101 pitches.
And that's one of the benefits here at the new Yankee Stadium, is there's actually a batting tunnel behind the Astros dugout, so George can get loose before the games, whereas the old Yankee Stadium he had no chance.
Now the count's 3-2. What this means is Gaddis and Stassi get a little head start. Help a potential RBI situation here for George. Swing and a miss. Severino getting him to end the top half of the 7th inning. Astros lead 2 and trail 5-2 as we head to the 7th inning stretch from the Bronx. We're going to kick it back to Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton in our rooms to go lounge.
Box. 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a big and bright Friday night t-shirt presented by Houston Methodist. For tickets and info, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. There's some new ballpark food here at Yankee Stadium. It's a little on the sweeter side. This is called Grand Slam Shakes. It's hidden too, hidden gem though. Look at what I just ordered. There's 4 different shakes you can order here. It's not even hot outside, but that doesn't keep you from ordering one of these. I got the Celebration. It's a vanilla shake with birthday cake frosting and funfetti vanilla cupcakes in there. I'm at a loss for words, guys. It's a thing of beauty.
The cupcakes are in the shake?
I want that.
Holy mackerel. That's why Julia jogs Central Park every day.
Seriously. She has earned the right to enjoy every bit of that.
That's impressive. Cupcakes in a shake.
It's amazing how these ballparks, you know, I want to be on the committee that tries these things out and says, thumbs up, let's go for it. That's the committee I want to be on.
You would go thumbs up on almost everything, though, wouldn't you?
Pretty much. Yeah, because I'd be in a sugar coma going, yep, just stuck in that position.
One of the new food items here at Yankee Stadium, final meeting in the regular season between these two. We could very well see a rematch from last year's ALCS. Long way to go. We are just heading into the month of June as Colin McHugh back out there with the Astros trailing the Yankees 5-2. But certainly in the first third of the season, it looks like the cream of the crop are similar to the last 4 teams remaining in the playoffs last year. Cleveland, despite a struggle early, looks like they are still the best in the Central. The Astros still on top in the West, and the Red Sox and the Yankees have had the 2 best records in baseball pretty much all year. Here's Giancarlo Stanton facing Colin McHugh to start the bottom half of the 7th inning. And the breaking ball misses inside. It's 1-0. Stanton's been on base a couple of times, a single, a walk. He also knocked in the game's first run on a sacrifice fly. HOU allowing a run in the last inning, a walk to Austin Romine, and a flare double off the bat of Austin Hicks. Marwin Gonzalez, a diving attempt, got past him and allowed a run to score. Two and one to Stanton. Dallas Keuchel ended up going 5 innings plus 2 batters, allowed 4 runs tonight. Second time in his career he's allowed more than 3 runs against the Yankees. The other one was a postseason outing. Stanton grounds one foul. It's 2-2.
Yeah, you figured Dallas Keuchel would have a better outcome because he didn't give up a home run, kept him in the ballpark.
Dallas gave up all singles until the double by Gleyber Torres to start the 6th inning. 6 singles and a double against Keuchel tonight. Stanton deep to center field, going all the way back is Springer, and he makes the play on the warning track. George staying in the game after pinch hitting last half inning. Stanton just missed that one to straightaway center.
Now, this ballpark is very similar to Minute Maid Park in the sense that go ahead, try and shoot it out of center field. You got to hit it pretty good here at Yankee Stadium and Minute Maid Park.
.408 to straightaway center as Gary Sanchez bats with 1 out, the base is cleared. Even though it's .408 to center and .314 down the right field line, the dimensions the same as the old Yankee Stadium, it feels like it's much easier to hit a ball out here at this park to right center field. Right center does not seem as daunting at the new ballpark as it did in the old ballpark, as Bregman makes the play for out number 2 on Sanchez. It just seems like such a short porch out there.
Well, the biggest difference here is that it's open from right center field or left field to right field. That's a big difference. So if the wind is coming in from left field, it's going to come in, hit us here behind home plate, and then bounce out towards that right field corner. So I think that creates a little bit of a jet stream. And I agree with you. The new Yankee Stadium is really a jet stream going out there to right center field, because you'll see a lot of these hitters in BP, right-handed or left-handed, really trying to aim for those right field bleachers.
That little section between the scoreboard and the Modell sign out there in right center field, you see a lot of home runs deposited out there, and a lot of them that wouldn't be home runs in other parks, like last night's 2-run home run by Gardner.
Yeah, it's over that scoreboard in right that Todd is talking about, where Gardner hit that right by this Lay's sign. It went into the stands one seat, like one row, and it was estimated 348 feet. And that is pretty short to be that far towards right center field, to be that short.
3-pitch strikeout for Colin McHugh, getting Tyler Austin, who has now struck out 4 times tonight. A 1-2-3 inning for Colin.
going to give you a pretty good opportunity, especially in that direction. 99% hit probability with that exit velo and launch angle.
But then the next one, this is not out of a lot of ballparks where it's hit.
Yeah, eerily reminiscent of Todd Frazier's in the ALCS. It was hit hard. It was just that high launch angle makes you question it a little bit. And then the estimated distance at 348 is why that hit probability is down around 31%.
It was a frustrating night for the Astros. They had a 5-3 lead heading into the ninth, and then Gardner's 2-run home run tied it up at 5. And they would walk it off on a Gleyber Torres single, 6-5. But yet to that part of the field, to a left center field or right center field area, to be a 350-foot home run, you don't see that at most ballparks. Tony Kemp facing a new pitcher for the Yankees. David Robertson takes over. It's 2-0.
Robertson has the ability to close out games, but this is a deep bullpen for Aaron Boone and the New York Yankees. But after Severino did such a good job, it is Robertson's turn. Mostly cutters. Break off a curveball every once in a while.
Robertson wanted that pitch, but it was called low. It's 3-0.
A lot of it has to do with how your catcher catches it too, and Romine didn't do him any favors.
Saw Robertson in the game last night. Faced 4 batters, allowed a double to Max Stassi, but no run scored. Now it's 3-1. Severino with 11 strikeouts tonight, matching his season high, 1 off his career high. Allowed 4 hits and a walk, and 2 runs on the Max Stassi home run. Kemp into right field. Judge is there. Puts it away. Tony Kemp 0 for 4 as the leadoff hitter tonight.
Come out to the ballpark this Friday through Sunday as the Astros celebrate Play Ball Weekend. For more information on all the ways you can play, visit playball.org.
That'll bring up Alex Bregman. Alex looking for his first hit as well. Struck out, grounded out, and flied out. Robertson, 33 years old. Loves to throw that curveball. That was more of the cutter there that missed outside. It's 2-0. So he's 2-0 on Kemp. Went to 3-0. Now he's 2-0 on Bregman. There's Altuve. He owns half of the Astros hits tonight. Just 4 hits for Houston. 2 of them by Altuve. Control a little off early on as the second consecutive batter Robertson has faced sees a 3-0 count. That's a strike. It's 3-1. Into center field, falling quickly. Alex Bregman has a hit. He's a 1-out base runner in the 8th.
The Power Players presented by TXU Energy. It might as well be the energy of this ball club. 15 for 31 on this road trip. That includes an 0 for 5 in game 1 at Cleveland. A couple of bombs mixed in there. 10 straight hits. Multiple extra base hits mixed in there. The OPS is well over 1,000. But Altuve again, this guy on the road in that gray uniform might as well be Ted Williams, hitting 395 plus now on the season on the road.
Not only was he 0 for 5 in that first game, he started game 2 in Cleveland 0 for 3. So he started this road trip 0 for 8. Since then, he's 15 for 23.
Yeah.
Takes one inside for a ball. It's 2-0. He is amazing. He can go on those prolonged stretches.
My bad. 405. He is Ted Williams.
Nobody better on the road. Now he's got a hitter's count of 2-0. It's been all hitter's counts from David Robertson tonight. It's been 3-0, 3-0, and now 2-0. That one a strike. Astros trying to claw their way back, down 5-2. They have just 5 outs to work with. Altuve the other way. It's 2-2.
Coming into this game, this is unbelievable. Jose Altuve at home is good. He hits 300 at home. We complain about it, but the reason we complain is because coming into this game on the road, he was hitting, I'm sorry, he was hitting 255 at home. On the road, he's came into this game hitting 398, now at 405. My goodness.
Nobody does it better.
On the road.
Yeah, goes to Minute Maid Park. I don't know if you're allowed to wear gray unis on the home games. But
I would wear my white uniform over my gray uniform. Or you call the commissioner, see if you can wear the grays at home.
You already got one letter, Plummer.
Yeah, I'll do it again. Hey, I'll do anything for hits. Take one for the team. That'd be I'd pay that fine every day of the week. Times 2.
Altuve hanging in there at 2-2. Astros had the tying run to the plate for a couple of hitters last inning with 2 on. Altuve trying to get on and bring Carlos Correa to the plate as the tying run here. Swing and a miss. Helmet flies off. Altuve strikes out. We're out number 2 of the 8th.
Jose was trying to do some damage with that swing. Big swing. On a Mattress Firm Supermo, you can see that rotation that creates the cut. Jose was opening up that front side, trying to elevate.
Carlos Correa, the batter. He takes a cutter on the inside corner for a strike.
Not too sure that was a strike.
Neither was Carlos.
Yeah, if you have the original Mike standing up here, that's a strike.
Now chases the breaking ball away, and he's down to the count 0-2. Carlos 0 for 3 tonight. Normally Correa has done damage against the Yankees, especially here in New York. Didn't play last night, but 0 for 7 in this series. Stays alive.
Man, that was a pretty good job just to get a piece of that.
Robertson took more than a couple of steps towards the dugout. That pitch was called a ball. It's 2-2.
Because more of the baseball was in the zone than out of it. Wasn't thrown to the target. Like I'm willing to bet that the catcher blocked out the home plate umpire.
And that ball kept going down and away after the reception of the ball.
Yeah, Romine wasn't exactly all the way down in his squat. He wanted that a little bit elevated, and in doing so might have blocked the angle of the umpire to be able to see that pitch all the way into the zone.
Carlos hanging in there at 2-2. Bregman on first. Astros down 3. Robertson strikes him out. He gets Altuve and Correa back-to-back to end the 8th. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It's 5-2 Yankees.
Thank you for following us at ATT Sportsnet SW. We asked, what is the most iconic event in the history of the Astrodome today? Or we asked that today because yesterday they got their historic landmark recognition. The last game, the division clincher in 1999 is going to win today. 38%. We got lots of tweets on this one because, you know, there's only 4 options that we can use on Twitter. There were lots of great events that happened, but this one's asking about the 1986 clincher with a no-hitter. Choice E, Elvis.
We didn't even talk about the rodeo events at the Astrodome.
No.
Garth Brooks was pretty good this year too.
Elvis at the rodeo back at the Dome. A lot of good memories in that building. Nice to see that it's now a historical landmark, National Historical Landmark. That was just an event that happened yesterday as Gleyber Torres takes a called strike. It's 1-2. Colin McHugh is going to try and take this one to the 9th inning, and that's one way to get your bullpen a little rest, is go from Dallas Keuchel to Colin McHugh.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's a rarity to see that if you're an Astro fan, but Colin McHugh understands the responsibility now is just go out there, get through this inning, and save some of that bullpen before they get back home and face the Boston Red Sox. Keep it right where it is. Hopefully the Astro offense can create some opportunities.
Red Sox have probably put their feet up, kicking back in somewhere in Houston right now, getting ready for that series to start tomorrow. The Astros will arrive in the early morning hours of Thursday and then start a 4-game series Thursday night with the Red Sox. Ooh, nice breaking ball. Gleyber Torres down to a knee as Colin McHugh picks up a strikeout. It's now 3 for Colin as he begins his 3rd inning of work.
Yeah, that breaking ball has been effective in those 3 strikeouts that Todd is talking about. They've all been on the curveball. And again, a 3-2 count, a young hitter being aggressive on the fastball, gets the nasty curve.
Here's Didi Gregorius. Gregorius is single in 3 at bats. Colin misses the corner. It's 1-0. Astros will face 3 consecutive left-hand pitchers in that series against the Red Sox before they face Rick Porcello on Sunday. One of the fortunate timing aspects of Brian McCann going on the DL is that the Astros face a lot of lefties coming up. McCann still can hit lefties, but Stassi's more of the guy you would want to face left-hand pitching, and now he'll see a majority of the starts, you would think, in these next couple of weeks. Fedorovich will probably get a start tomorrow, but then expect to see Stassi back in there in that Red Sox series. 2-1 the count to Didi. Called strike. It's 2-2. Because right now with Reddick on the DL, Fisher on the DL, McCann on the DL, your lone left-handed hitter is Tony Kemp on the active roster. It's a very right-handed dominant roster at this point for the Astros. But facing all these lefties, not necessarily a bad thing right now.
I wonder how much of that went into the thought process too, when given the opportunity, because I know with the 10-day DL, you see opportunities to get a guy on the DL, refresh those legs, or help them out in any way. Go ahead and take advantage of it. And 4 of those 10 days are going to be against 3 of the 10 days so far are going to be against left-handed pitching.
2-2 the count to Didi. And he grounds one towards Altuve, who stays down on the ball and makes the play for out number 2.
Watch the Astros in more ways than ever before by downloading the new AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play. Or you can visit AT&TSportsnet.com to stream on your computer. Log in with your cable account and you're all set. Available for those with AT&T Sportsnet in their TV subscription. Blackouts and territorial restrictions apply.
I think Julia finished her shake. What do you have for us, Julia?
It's delicious.
She could have finished it during that read.
Yeah, Brian McCann went home yesterday to be checked out by team doctors, and they were encouraged by what they found. This is something that he's dealt with before, so they're familiar with the signs that he was feeling, or the pain that he was dealing with. But they were encouraged. They're just not sure of a timetable yet. They're really hoping at this point it's going to be the 10 days, but we'll know more in the next few days.
All right, good to hear. Always great to have Brian McCann back. We'll see him when the Astros return home for 4 against the Red Sox and 2 against the Mariners. How much of that shake did he finish?
Ooh, I didn't get very far.
Cupcake?
It's a lot.
Gosh, it looked amazing.
Well, once you have a cupcake, it's kind of over.
There's cupcakes in the shake.
There were 3.
3?
3 cupcakes in there.
Oh my goodness.
Little mini funfetti cupcakes.
1 for each of us.
You should have seen the other 3.
Could have been 1 for each of us, but she took them all.
When we come back.
That's impressive.
No, that's impressive.
I don't know how much that cost. I don't pay for things around here.
They just see Julia and hand you stuff?
Well, not quite. I just know the right thing to say.
2-2 the count. It's good to be Julia. And Duhar grounds one foul down the third base line. Well, Nevin is the third base coach down there.
I think they dropped that ice cream in a pine tar jar.
Inside, now the count runs full.
3-2 to Gleyber Torres, young right-handed hitter for these Yankees. Got a curveball. 3-2. Wonder if Colin McHugh goes to that for Andujar.
He does, and Andujar bounces it foul. Andujar was the guy who ended up hitting an 0-2 slider for a double last night into the left field corner against Brad Peacock. It was not Peacock's best slider. It stayed on the plate, and then one batter later, Gleyber Torres would single on a fastball and walk off the game in a 6-5 Yankees victory. Yankees have been tough all year, but especially here at home. This ball's hit hard, but freezing in center field, and making the play is George Springer for the final out of the inning. Astros will have Yuli Gurriel leading off, down 3 in the 9th. Let's go places by Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. Yuli Gurriel will lead things off for the Astros, trying to get something going against Aroldis Chapman as he comes on in the 9th in this 5-2 game.
Flame-throwing Aroldis Chapman. Saw him getting up around 101 the other day. 22 games this season, equal 22 1/3 innings pitched. 11 out of 12 in the saves and save opportunities. At whip under 1, 40 strikeouts in 22 1/3 innings pitched.
Another good crowd here at Yankee Stadium. We saw their 7th sellout of the year in the opening game on Memorial Day. And tonight, 45,229. Tonight's attendance brought to you by Cricket. Yuli Gurriel had one of the bigger hits of the season last year when he faced his fellow Cuban Aroldis Chapman and doubled at Minute Maid Park as the Astros rallied back against Dellin Betances, and Chapman in a big win on a Saturday. Part of a 5-2 series victory last year for the season. This year the Yankees trying to close out a 5-2 season series win against the Astros and return the favor as Chapman starts off Yuli with a 99-mile-an-hour strike. Yuli, Marwin Gonzalez, Evan Gattis. If it gets beyond that, it would be Max Stassi and George Springer. Yuli 0 for 3 tonight. Had a ball that ate up Miguel Andujar his last time up. Could have been called a hit. Instead, it was ruled an error on the Yankees' third baseman. Up high, it's 1-2. Nice job by Colin McHugh preserving the bullpen tonight. 3 innings of 1-run baseball. Marwin Gonzalez made a diving attempt at a little flared double that allowed that run to score. Colin was really good.
He was extremely good. Went 3 innings, like Todd was saying. As it stands, his ERA is at 1.05.
That ball's hit hard, base hit. Yuli gets things going for the Astros with a clean single to left against Aroldis Chapman.
I've seen Yuli have good ABs against Aroldis Chapman, fellow countryman out of Cuba. Stays back on this slider somehow, down and away, gets around it and rakes it into left field. That was nicely done.
Yuli now 2 for 4 in the regular season against Chapman, and he will face Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin a couple of strikeouts and a walk tonight. All the Astros are hoping for is to get a couple of runners on and bring the tying run to the plate. Marwin sends one to center. Hicks doesn't have to move very far and puts it away for the first out of the ninth. Here's Evan Gattis. Gattis 1 for 3, a base hit his last time up. Broken bat pop up, shallow center field. Torres is out. The second baseman makes the play. And Marwin Gonzalez and Evan Gattis back-to-back outs here on successive pitches, and the Astros down to their final out in the ninth. While the Astros return home for a 6-game homestand, the Yankees head out on the road. They will take on Baltimore in a 4-game series beginning tomorrow at Oriole Park. Here's Stassi. He's accounted for the 2 Astros runs with a home run against Luis Severino, 2-run shot in the 5th. Ground ball. That's a fair ball down the line, headed towards the corner. Yuli digging for third. He will be waved home, and Yuli Gurriel will score. The Astros now down 5-3. Max Stassi, all 3 runs batted in tonight, has himself an RBI double.
He just turned around 100 earlier in the game off Severino. He took 99 miles an hour, 423 feet away. Here he takes 100 and yanks it down the third baseline. That is sitting fastball, getting it and getting the head out on it. Not to mention it's a left-hander out there. He's hitting right around 500 against left-handed pitching. But extending this inning with 2 outs. 2-out RBI, driving a guy in from first.
So now the Astros will bring the tying run to the plate. George Springer was a tying run at the plate in the 7th inning. Severino struck him out to end his night, and now Chapman will face Springer at the tying run in the 9th. .101.
Painted down and away. George kind of tilted his head as if to say, come on, man.
George went from having an off night to facing the hardest throwing starter and the hardest throwing reliever. Another one on the edge at 100. Only takes 1. More than 1/3 of Springer's career home runs have come with 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, 102 to end the ball game. Aroldis Chapman allows a run, but is able to strike out Springer to end this one. The Yankees take 2 out of 3 in this series and win 5-2 in the season series against the Astros. Astros end up with a 3-4 road trip after winning the first 2 games in Cleveland. They will head back home for a 6-game homestand, but we'll wrap this one up and have the post-game show for you right around the corner.